Greetings, Black Bruja. How are you? 10 people in here already? Ashay. 8 people. Ashay, come on in, come on in. Drop your name. I'm so short. I promise. Yeah, I'm learning how to do something. Okay, let's see. That's hey, let's see who's in here with me. Going through a lot, but I'm gonna get through it. That's why I'm on here. Greetings, Zero. Greetings. Greetings, Junkyard Jedi. What it do, fam? Trying not to feel heavy today. That's why I'm here. I got the motherfucking magic. I got the magic. I'm finna let my soul glow. The motherfucking matrix is down. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Campson the Oracle. I am one whole of New Verse Live. And I must say to you, my conversation is very adult, typically. So you make choices as you choose. But I want to make sure that in integrity, I feel good on this side so that I can speak as real as possible. Woo! Oh my goodness. All right. Got it on Do Not Disturb. We ready to go. Let me tell y'all. The 3D Matrix glitched so hard today. And I knew it was coming. Because I have lived through these days already. I'm repeating my days now. And so it's beyond deja vu. Every single day is deja vu. So as the third eye opens, you become more energetically in tuned. And because of that, sound creates a visual. A taste can literally transport you in time back to a moment where you first tasted that food. These are the capabilities of the intuition and what we will call our pineal gland and third eye, the ability to see beyond the illusion of the simulation, this thing that we call reality, which is simulated. So today, my grandson was his birthday party. We went to Incredible Pizza. It took me 3 days to prepare for my whole family to go to Incredible Pizza in the underworld post the 3D Matrix breakdown. 3 days. 3 days, mantras, chanting, clearing, purging, making sure that there's nothing in my vibrational field, the quantum field around me, that will attract something that is opposite of what I am creating in my reality. So, at leading up to this point, I'm very, very weary about going certain places, certain times of the year. Mars is retrograde right now. Mars all about action, war, and fighting. For a lot of us, even if we're not at war with other people, we probably are at war with our own selves right now. When you're feeling like that, that's typically not the best time to go out and about. This is the danger of people being a very naturally powerful people who are very spiritually in tune to where every single word that they speak, every word that they do not speak, all light unmanifested inside of you at all moments of throughout the day can create timelines to have experiences you wouldn't have had before, right? So we're creating our reality as we go, and it feels heavy Because that's a fucking heavy responsibility, to be responsible for your energy. And even just your words. Over 70% of communication is physical. So I made sure that my divine masculine was intact and ready for this trip. First of all, when you go out and your third eye is open, you see entities all the time. It's the norm. It's like going to the zoo, right? And the only thing that you don't have is the sign telling you where this entity came from. So the world is like a zoo for somebody like me. So as soon as I walk in, the walls and the buildings began to speak to me. They began to tell me things that had happened in between those walls. Then I began to get visuals, play-by-plays on what happens, play-by-plays on why cameras are positioned everywhere, play-by-plays on how to make sure that you can get access to that footage. And you're not getting access to that footage because you lost something. This is the whole reason why we have the black market that has now went digital, the dark net. I'm thinking about pizza and what we've learned about pizza. I'm just putting pieces together. I take a look at the Masonic floor. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I ain't been in so long, kind of forgot. So I said, okay. Gremlins everywhere, archons everywhere, entities everywhere. Some just draining, sucking the life force out of the individual as they're feeding and can't even control how much food they're eating, because these chemicals masquerading as foods that have been created by these people who are all a part of this same society. And as you are eating these foods, your body is creating all types of sickness and disease. And once you are in a vibrational frequency in alignment with dead food, and not just dead food, but food that may be synthetic food, that may be trans food, chemicals masquerading as food. And so the neurotransmitters within the brain now are under control of something that's outside of you, and you can't control it. And we could sprinkle a little bit of that natural flavor in there on it, and you'll definitely eat way too much. And once you get a habit of doing this, you're guaranteed to be obese, and you'll be guaranteed to have heart disease, and you'll be guaranteed to have high blood pressure. You'll be guaranteed to suffer. You'll be guaranteed to get ADHD. I mean, we got one for everybody. There might be 100% chance that these specific people will get cancer based on the research that we have done, right? And so we got these playgrounds. This is Matrix Reloaded. This is a movie, right? We got this whole playground, and it's a simulation, and it looks so full, and it's a reflection of the world. It's a reflection of how shit really is. Everything that glitter ain't gold. So I'm sitting there, people game, and it took a moment. I had to walk away for a moment and take some slow, deep breaths, do my 444, get grounded, and recenter myself. So as I go back out, I'm like thinking to myself, I must be able to separate my mind from what I see with my first eye, third eye. But I don't want to be blind, because if it's so painful to look at it, then my subconscious, unconscious self, my ego would take over, and it'll block me being able to see my third eye, because I'm experiencing the pain and the suffering and the trauma as an empath of what the walls are speaking to me and telling me, and what I see around people. So I walk past the buffet because that's what I was instructed to do. As I'm walking past the buffet, I could literally see the nanos and the pathogens that they were creating. And it's in the auric field. If you're looking at the aura, it looks like specks, kind of like back in the day when you would get snow on the TV. And so that's kind of how it looks. And so, I was just kind of paying attention to what looked like that and what didn't. And then you also have the Kim Dome that was up today here. So everybody is constantly, right? And I'm like, wow. That we are officially, those of us who have done the work to get here, and those of us who might not have done anything, think is the thanks and the gratitude to the ancestors that walk before you for some of the gifts that you have. And so I could also see that. I could see the children who were covered. I could see the children who, because sometimes obliviousness protects you from these things. And so there was a big part of me that kind of wanted to go get a sign and write on it with a mark and say you might want to stay away from the chili. I didn't do it because that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be observing and learning today. On days like today, when the energy is dense because of the astrological alignment, you just observe and learn. You approach everything curious. You approach everything like a child. So when you do that, you don't get judgmental, and then you allow people to have their own journey. You know, Dr. Sebi would have never became Dr. Sebi had he not had the experiences that he had with food and his health, right? So we have to be cognizant of the way we impact other people. So yes, sometimes it's going to be difficult when your third eye is open to go out among certain places, especially low vibrational places that have all of these lights and sounds and illusions and stuff to trick you. And so anywhere that you go now, you can see the blight and the petulance. Just think about it. The walls that used to be white, not as white. Some buildings are covered in this black mold, especially if you live somewhere that's humid, like down here in the South, Texas, Memphis, Mississippi, Alabama. Um, you can see it. You can see the trees changing. The trees didn't even really go through their color changes this year. The leaves just fell off green. Well, they were brown because of everything that happened this summer to the trees. See, the towers and the trees are in a civil war with one another. So we are starting to see the breakdown of that. And this is when you ride through a neighborhood and you're like, wow, that neighborhood went down. Dang, I just came through here. What was that last time? It just looked bad. And you really can't quite put your finger on why it looked like it's run down and bad, but it's called pestilence. It's blight. It's what's depicted in the movie Doom. It's what's depicted in Stranger Things. It's what's depicted in many movies. Anything that comes in is like this nothingness, this void, death. It's sucking. It's void of life. It's void of high frequency, healthy vibrations. So, as I'm noticing this more and more, I realize that with Saturn being the main projector of the illusion, a lot of us feel like the world has changed, but I think that it's really been like this for a very long time, and we still had the glasses on that was provided for us to get up to this point of awakening. So when we had 2019, the first galactic age kicked in, we talked about that, which was really like 2013 because it's like a six year or so off because they changed the calendar to a 12-month calendar when we really have 13 moons month per year, right? 13 full moons per year. So all of those changes, Ophiuchus showed up, Betelgeuse showed up. So these astrological alignments are changing because of the evolution that is occurring as well. And so having your third eye open, it sounds cute, but it's going to require you to do work to keep yourself sane, to keep yourself emotionally regulated, to be able to hold on to your sanity while you're seeing these things, to not walk up to the dad who is beating the hell out of his wife and you can clearly see it and she ain't got a bruise on her, to the child that's getting molested. See, I'm the kind of person, I don't like shit like that. It bothers me. And I had to conduct myself in a way where I wasn't detaching myself to the point where I couldn't feel anything. I didn't go numb, but just where I didn't react. So with everything that is occurring now in our placement, the illusion that Saturn was casting was during the four-dimensional process of this ascension that we are going through as the collective. And the 4D is more so like a bridge. It's a holding space. It's not a space that was meant to be there and hold us for forever. It was there for a period of time. So many of us have been calling for the truth. We've been calling for real love. We've been sick of the bullshit. We want more healing. We want to be able to do what we love, be passionate. We want to be able to live off of doing things that we love. We feel the change inside of us. We don't want to change energy for time anymore. We don't want to hang out with certain people. We don't want to do certain things. We don't want to drink just for the sake of drinking. We don't want to eat a slice of cake for our birthday. And we don't want to give a slice of cake full of these chemicals masquerading as foods to our children on their birthday, because that is a fucking form of trauma, because we don't really know what we're supposed to do on our children's birthdays, their solar returns, because we are so far fallen in this 3D matrix. So what we offer our children as a supplement to the rituals that we were supposed to have been doing is something that was socially engineered for our destruction. Absolutely zero. Uplift, unity, harmony. So as I'm walking through here, I'm like, you know what? One or two things go happen. Either I'm going to realize that I'm such a powerful motherfucker that I can see all of this shit and I don't have to do anything to change anything. Everybody has their own sacred journey. I will leave here with my peace. None of these entities will attach to me or my children. I'm that motherfucker. And this is when the big pyramid shit, activation, gangster gratitude shit will protect you and cover you. And in your mind, you're thinking like it. That ain't even something that I'm a vibrational match to. You could be in a sunken place and going through some shit and having your own experiences, because see, the side of 5G that not a lot of people talk about is the fact that 5G goes to war with 5D. See, the ancestors inside of us have awakened. They get triggered too. Every trigger is not your trigger. Some of your triggers are your ancestors, triggered by what you're seeing or experiencing or feeling or eating. As a spiritual people, not knowing that spiritual anatomy, I'm looking at people's chakras. Your chakras is literally the magnet that attract these entities. So if you are walking around and you do not feel safe and protected, you become a vibrational match for anything that will manifest something into your reality to make you not feel safe, and that exact thing is what's going to happen to you. Root chakra work. To blind us about the most basic parts of our spiritual anatomy was to turn us into fucking prey, sheeps, waiting to be led to the slaughter. That's what was done to us. Think about the people now that we see who are struggling with things that we know was caused by the food and all the other toxic things. We can't even really talk to them about it. You can't even help nobody. People, because it's so addictive to where it's gonna, like, at this point pretty much everybody has addictions. Like, that's the norm now. And the amount of willpower that it takes to say no to a poison that is masquerading as something that is going to soothe your soul food, what the fuck are they really feeding you? Because what the 3D matrix feeds you is not something that's going to liberate you and set you free. Never. So people like me look crazy. People like me, there are these voices that will speak to you and say, don't buy nothing from her. Don't buy nothing Ernest made. Don't get that course. You got some bills to pay, even though they didn't mark it down like 88%. Don't do that. Some of these voices that we hear is the 3D matrix and the entities that are contracted to talk us against doing things that will liberate us. And even with all the practice that I have and that I've been doing, it still happens to me. So I'm sitting there and I forgot hand sanitizer. It was so crazy, something so simple. I forgot hand sanitizer. And I'm like, it's crazy. I used to walk in Incredible Pizza and I would load my plate up. Even once I stopped eating certain things, I would still make me a huge salad. Walk to the salad and they was like, don't touch that. And I was watching the people who was gravitating towards it. And it was people who was trying to make better choices, trying to choose foods that had life in them. And even that was fucking death. Pure blight, petulance, famine. 3D matrix, that's what it's famous for. Engineered, right? So I think to myself, sanitizer? I'm finna take my dark crystal elixir, and everybody in the family is too. my tongue about 30 seconds. We all did the same thing. Some people, within 10 minutes of them eating, I already saw the entities that we are calling, that are being named by these variants, all over them. Before I can get out the door, some of them was coughing. Some of them was not coughing at first. This shit might sound crazy, but I, as a medical intuitive, and anybody who's sensitive to spirit, y'all know that what I'm saying is the truth. That's why it's not popular. Most things that are truth will not be popular, and even more so, will get a lot of resistance. So after we took our dark crystal elixir, we created this gem elixir, and the special thing about it is that not only does it open the third eye, but it provides protection. So it's very similar to using your smoky quartz or your black tourmaline to banish and remove negative energy, and it just works from the inside out. So after we did that, it got even clearer, and so we went into the area where the games were, and I could see like how many more times certain rides were going to spin before something broke on it. It was crazy. I was like, whoa. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Right? So I thought to myself, this is the exact same trap that trapped our souls to come back down here and reincarnate. They had to have something to put in front of us to look shiny, to make us want to keep coming back. So for a lot of us, we will have a choice because we are going through our awakening process. But when you come out of that artificial womb, that shit don't feel good. Anybody that tell you that the spiritual awakening feels good has not awakened. It is uncomfortable. And for spiritual people to know nothing about their spiritual anatomy, yet their body is created to be a Stargate portal that has one of the highest conductors known to man, which is eumelanin and neuromelanin. That's dangerous. That's like setting the X-Men out among the civilians, and they have no idea how to control their powers because nobody has taught them. And even worse, we were taught to not even look to the cosmos, don't even look to the celestial alignments, because that's bad, that's wrong, that's evil. And every billionaire in the world checks in on the astrological alignments before they make any decisions. So it was like disrespecting our ancestors, because our ancestors became the stars. They are the ones that are guardians of the galaxies. We have a responsibility to look to our elders, because our elders that's here in physical form, most of them have been taken by the petulance and the blight. The mental enslavement is real. This is the war on consciousness. So to soothe yourself, the dark crystal elixir works really, really well for that soothing, especially when your third eye is showing you some shit that you really don't want to see. But you want to pay attention to your elders, the ones speaking to us in the cosmos and that are also within. Pay attention to your galactic signature. Today is a white wizard day. That's why you see me right now. It's a white wizard day. You tap in on a day that's your day per your galactic signature. That might be one of the most difficult days for you emotionally, because we are clearing shit from multiple bloodlines, from the father and the mother. We're clearing them. Whether you want to be doing it or not, it must be done because the cosmos is expanding. So we must also expand to bring back alignment, as within, so without, as above, so below. So you can't just look at somebody a certain way just because you triggered, especially like your kids. We create the fucking blight. That's why we are called chaos beings, because we have power but we don't have the instructions. So we've been weaponized in our ignorance, and it's only a certain amount of time that your period of grace for you to awaken and align and begin to attract the things into your reality that's necessary to heal You must be able to see past the tricks and the illusions and the sparkles and shit. You must be able to detach from the material realm and what's happening. You must feel your feelings. To feel your feelings is to heal your feelings. And I know it's hard and difficult because for so many of us, we didn't grow up in a world where it was safe to feel our own feelings. So all of that repressed energy inside of you right now, because we in the underworld, it turns rancid and toxic. So this is the petulance that's within as well. So anybody who's struggling with, trapped feelings, not feeling safe, some inner child wounds, maybe, people cannot text you back, and you will have a whole story about why they didn't text you, and that's healing that's necessary. And so from the chakra courses, you can work through that, and also with the new course that we just created for y'all, special, and it's on sale into I think Cyber Monday the sale ends. But this is the 3D Matrix exit sale. This is a 3D Matrix detox where I share with you so many of these gems and more, so that you will know how to cleanse yourself inside and out, toward yourself, so that you'll be able to isolate what the energy is communicating to you to help guide you. um because you can't, we're in the world but not of it, but like you, without the tools to navigate it, your energy vortexes will be attracting all types of shit that you really done with. Like you really in here in your innermost being, your our divine self is like, you done with that. You already did kindergarten. You already did first grade. Why are you walking in this room with this teacher? You already did this. You're not even supposed to be in this school. You're supposed to be over there in the high school. Why are you here? And the way that you get there is by working through it, one thing at a time, working through it. And we simplified in these courses. It's so simple, these exercises, but so powerful, right? And another thing that I wanted to say before I got off of here was that as we get deeper into the underworld, we got about 6 more years of this 9-year particular period depicted by the Mayans, where all of these worlds have now merged, right? So with your third eye opening, you also become more sensitive to feelings and other people's feelings. And this is why, we've been talking about codependency, and only feeling good within yourself when others around you are feeling good. Some of us don't like the way it feels when people are upset with us. It could be our children, our spouse, whoever. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. All of a sudden, sometimes you be like, dang, like, am I getting weaker? I'm doing the work. Seem like I would get stronger. But no, you're supposed to feel that so that you can say, even though my truth or however I responded or my trigger could have been upsetting to them, they're entitled to feel however they feel, and I must detach from them feeling their feelings and trying to control how they should react to me. See, a lot of us aren't healed because we're using too much of our energy trying to control our environment and the people that are the actors in our hologram, right? Our personal reality, right? So as we are listening to mantras, slowing down our breath, learning how to control our heartbeat, learning how to navigate throughout these quickenings and awakenings within the body, stretching, so important to be stretching. If you're not doing anything else, don't ignore the aches, don't push through. See, we have pushed through and we have repressed and pushed through and repressed, and now we're nuclear reactors walking around, such powerful people. I saw people in there. I was like, if I could just get 5 of these people right here, and we could hold hands and align and call forth the ancestors who ascended to higher levels of consciousness, the spirit guides, and any other spirit support that we have as the 3D matrix is breaking down. Like, we could really, really shift some shit. But most people are too deep in the 3D matrix program, and that false wound makes you feel safe and secure. And I think that it's really terrible that people who consider themselves to be Christians, I was once one of them, feel like they're not powerful enough to affect the world and what's happening in the world by believing in certain beliefs that were created to destroy us, like spatter rod spoiled a child. telling your children to pray, now I lay me down to sleep, I get, I lower my soul to keep it, forced reincarceration, doing 25 to life down here. And unfortunately, can't have the conversation. So you must learn how to navigate with an open third eye, right? Um, for those of you who are sensitive to energy, you want something stronger, the Kali Lotus Lux. I put this on right before I left because I already knew what it was going to be. And I could literally feel, if you, whether you know who Kali my Kali is or not, she is literally the void, the blackness of space. She is the darkness in which all creation was birthed, right? And she is depicted in many forms by many indigenous people and cultures. So that's just one of many. But the function of that is protection. Hold on a second, y'all, right now. So I put this on, and see this right here. This is oud, blue lotus, right? I got frankincense and myrrh, and this came from Cambodia, and the rest of it is from Egypt. It's so powerful. I only have a few of these left too. When these sell out, they gone. But it's so powerful. That was racist people, and they wouldn't even make eye contact with me. And down here in the South, racist people make eye contact with you just to energetically tell you fuck you, and you ain't shit. That didn't happen not one time. I was trying to make eye contact with everybody because I'm practicing making eye contact and not being impacted by other people's energy or what I see. They was walking around me. It was strange. I was like, okay. So, Kylie, is this the reason why that you cutting off heads and stuff, and you look so scary and creepy, and every depiction that I find? She was like, yeah, it was meant for you not to even know who your mama was. I was like, wait, so you mean to tell me the whole purpose and this whole thing and what's upholding the 3D matrix is the denial of the true kingdom of creation and the feminine energy in which rules over that kingdom? She was like, exactly. I said, so you mean to tell me the first time that they started CERN, the reason why that you showed up in the images in CERN, I was on the live stream looking, you scared the fuck out of me. I had seen you before, but I was a Christian. You mean to tell me you knew who I was then? She was like, I knew who you was then. I said, why was you the first one to show up? She said, because they fucking with my kingdom. I was like, well, what can we do? She was like, first of all, you all need to give reverence to the feminine energy of creation, specifically the dark feminine. That's not a bad thing. Anything that they have told you was shiny and pretty and love and light probably isn't, just like what's inside this building. Anything that they told you was dark, bad, is just like me. So I was like, okay, so am I genetically able to access the spirit realm more easily? Because it's a whole lot of shit that my ancestors knew that I don't know. It's a lot I don't know. I got a lot of different cultures in me, pretty much 4 or 5 continents. Egyptian. um I think I posted it on the community tab, my DNA test. So I can communicate with all of these different consciousness because of my genetics. This is the mixing bowl that Bobby Hemmett was talking about in the West, right? We are that, right? Got a lot of Irish in me too, Cambodian, whole lot of shit, right? So that's communication. That's meant for you to be able to communicate and learn from many different cultures. Another tip that I'm going to give you is this, and just process this when you go out through your own day. But another tip is the citrine. Don't sleep on the citrine. The citrine. Don't sleep on the citrine. I had my citrine with me as well. I came packing. I walked up in that. I walked up in that thing like I already knew we were finna go to war. You hear me? So we had our citrines. This is negative energy repellent. Holds the energy of the sun. You feel me? Holds the energy of the solar plexus, right? Never needs to be charged. And so this is the pendulum. So if you don't do nothing else, practice this, right? And do your mystery school, have a pendulum class where I teach you how to practice this. Ask and see, like, is there some chakras that need to be balanced, right? And learn your yes, learn your no, learn your maybe. Develop a relationship with your pendulum. We have some new ones on there that we just ordered. Those are on sale as well. And actually, when you join the course, you get coupon codes for a lot of these products when y'all get in our courses that are on sale. So that's why we're doing that. I know it's heavy, but it's heavy because you're not doing your spiritual practices consistently. So I'm gonna take like 5 minutes, and I want you to feel something. I want you to feel the power and the vibration of your own soul, right? I don't want to make this about me. And I'm also gonna say this again. I've said this before, but on Mighty Networks, that's where we're doing the podcast and the courses where you can have a community and you can share things that you found, links, shit that might get took down somewhere else. You can post it there. That's why we have that community. That's what it's there for. Patreon is the vault. All of the banned content and the stuff that we already been censored about and got in trouble about and all of that, that's there. Okay, in case you wonder like which is which, that's what's going on with those. On those, I often post things that can help you. I posted I posted a lot of things that I've been making experimenting with, but I posted on there recently about the kali phosphorus. It's a homeopathic remedy, a very small amount of phosphorus. Like homeopathic basically means the smallest amount possible, but once it's within the human body, it doesn't take a lot of it. That's something if you're dealing with irritability and things like that. Go to Mighty Networks and join. If you get in the course, you'll get it. If you join Mighty Networks just to be a part of knowing what we're doing over there, because we do group movie decoders and have movie nights. We're going to play Never Have I Ever, like Bait and Chill style too. So we got a lot of things planned and coming up. We got some surprises in the mix for you, of course. So, tap into the community and take advantage of it so that when you do go out in the 3D matrix, you're filled up with your 5D information and connections. Soul tribes, we are here for a purpose. When we come together, even if it's digital, especially if it's digital, it's even more powerful, right? So those things are all there for you already. One other thing that I was going to say, I know that there's a lot of information about Saturn, and Saturn being the black cube and the cult of Saturn. Those are the people who are, the overlords of this world. Like, I get all that and know all of that, but I'm going to say this, and I'm speaking from experience. Saturn is my Atmakarika, which is my soul star, right? And within my natal chart in Vedic astrology. So because of that, I have automatically been given the mission in this incarnation to relieve suffering. Saturn holds the suffering. That planet teaches you so many lessons in suffering, right? That's why I was born with a rare blood disorder depicted in Blade Runner. Sickle cell was in Blade Runner. Keep paying attention to that. It's a reason for that. See, sickle cell wasn't just a mutation for malaria. Every mutation has a spiritual purpose as well. And I get more into that another time because I'm still working and putting those pieces together. But so what happens is when you're not relieving your personal suffering by being consistently practicing, we're very spiritual people. I'm not saying you got to turn into a monk and you can't never miss a day. What I'm saying is make sure that you have a priority list of spiritual things that help you to have more spiritual immunity to protect you when you are out and about in the world. Whether you can see energy or not, these entities are attaching to us. They don't give a fuck about who they follow home. They don't give a fuck about what chat. They don't care about none of that. All right? And it ain't personal. It's just spiritual. How else will we level up until we finally realize that everything in this world has a sentient level of consciousness to it, especially now that the nanos is everywhere, right? I dreamed about this. Everything woke up. The dolls woke up. Everything woke up. The trees speak. The walls speak. The ground speaks. It was 10 years ago when I saw this. I never thought that I was going to live it. And the dream 10 years ago was actually me seeing the future so that I would be prepared when I got here to lead other people out of suffering and scarcity. You don't have to live there, right? You do not have to live there. I can be sitting here right now in excruciating pain and still composed because of the work that I do. So this is what you do. Use your voice. Your voice is one of your most powerful gifts. If you don't buy any of the stuff that I showed you, even though we do have, you buy a Chocolate City merch t-shirt by Dr. Blind, you go get a free bottle of Dark Crystal Elixir because we want to help people. I really want people to at least have one in every household, especially on the real crazy days and you just got back from the underworld and you like, I need a spiritual bath, Palo Santo, sage, Florida water. We doing incense. We gonna make a pot. We doing salt. It be some of them days like that, and like you gotta have your tools. You gotta be ready, right? So use your voice. If you have nothing else, and even if you have everything else, use your voice. When you chant Om Shani, which is Saturn. And this is also a depiction of the Shiva energy, Shani. And this is a masculine energy. And again, it controls the hologram of what we experience in this matrix, right? So when you are chanting, it increases your strength and your power spiritually to overcome things. And it also releases your rewards that belong to you just because of your birthright. I say cool for rock and roll. What's up? What's up, fam? Um, what's up, C Troy 193? I see you, BJ Martin. Y'all done slid in here on me while I'm in a whole other zone. What's up, Indigo Padma? That's my sis right there, Sacred Sister. What y'all know about that Sacred Sister Temple of the Dark Goddess? DGY, Dark Goddess University Temple. Yes. Medicine Queen. What's up? Oh my goodness. Like, y'all all slid in here. What's up, my motherfucking people? I love my people. I've been saying that. I can't stand y'all asses at the same damn time. We got a strange relationship going on. Because y'all some strong people. Y'all some powerful people. Let me hide grace before I get through out because we've turned this shit into a Live and Chill party. Sagittarius season, you got to try to have some fun. You'll go crazy. So let me tell you, so chanting, using your voice, you don't have to say anything. Just hum. Just start humming. Don't even think about what you go hum about or how you go hum. Just start humming. And I'm telling you, a song of your ancestors will come up in you and it will help you. That's one of the tips that I'll be giving for throughout this chakra camp course and everything that I teach. Is a lot of this stuff is not stuff that I found in books. I practice it. So you hum. Have it feels good to you. The more you don't think about it, the better. And it activates the right hemisphere brain, which is feminine, and it connects you to this feminine energy, this divine feminine energy. If you're reparenting yourself in this life, then you would also benefit from having spiritual energies that you work with. So the energy of Saturn, it's not that the energy of Saturn is bad. Saturn, just like the granddaddy, he take his time. The planets, the celestials, they're, again, they are the governors, they are the master teachers, right? So he doing his thing. It's not that he is bad. They just took it and used it. But it was our shit. It was our ancestors' shit. They studied and learned. Them motherfuckers in astronomy didn't even know the difference between Venus and Mercury. They didn't even know Uranus existed, right? So it's it's so much that has occurred, but it's inside of us, the microcosm of the macrocosm, as above, so below. So when you're chanting that, you're bringing order into the chaos that's within you as well. That's why when I first started chanting with Saturn, it felt so strange to me. And I have to make sure I'm not assigning a meaning to shit that's not going to be beneficial for me. So if I assign a meaning to this, like, oh, it feels strange, that must mean I shouldn't be doing it. Or the next day something happened, like, oh, this negative thing, I just dropped my coffee, wasted all over my pants, I'm on my way to an interview. It must have been that damn mantra I did last night. I was going through stuff like that, and I was like, wait. Nothing outside of me is more powerful than me. If I assign a meaning to shit outside of me, then that's exactly what the fuck it's gonna be. So a lot of us are feeling what it feels like to be in the void. This is like a void space. Winter is here, it's getting cold, it's more darkness, more dark days. That's why people get so sad during this time. But if you're doing your spiritual shit, you're doing your mantras, you're clearing humming, just humming That vibrational frequency of your soul will tune you up. But if you want to take it to the next level, and you're like, I'm not playing out here, I'm coming packing like Cam. I told you motherfuckers I wasn't playing. I got this little mantra that I say, I got a couple that I say when I need them, but you pull them out when you need them. Big pyramid shit. I'm not playing. I got my motherfucking third eye kid shit. People I already know what I represent. I wear my message. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on this shit. I got this. I got it covered. I'm protected. I got my gems. I got my crystals. I got my I divine self. I got my tea. Like have your spiritual toolbox. Don't be out here playing. This is not the same world we used to be in. We are on a totally different earth. And every time they cut CERN on, and every time the quantum computer give them another potential parallel timeline they can put us on where they're going to stay on top, that's what's going to happen. We should be chanting Shana mantra. And then people come out and say, oh, you shouldn't do that either. No, 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 you're part of the black Saturn stuff. No, if we start using it, the people that's got pure intentions, then they won't be able to use it against us. Oh, it's just like so it's so frustrating sometimes because it's just like, oh my goodness, like this is the upside down world. Nothing is what it appears to be. Everything that glitter ain't gold. That's really what it is. So everybody be like, love and light, love and light. That shit is destroying us. That's why we don't have the capacity to have the level of mental resilience and emotional resilience it requires to be awakened. That's why we get triggered so easy and we're so sensitive because we're not doing the work. You might be doing things and your inner child feeling mad, uncomfortable. It ain't even the spiritual stuff. Your inner child loved the spiritual stuff because before people told you it was wrong and bad and you forgot, we was already doing a lot of this stuff naturally. It's the part of you that's judgmental and critical, and it was programmed in us, and it's like a cassette tape or a vinyl record. The chakras are like 7 vinyl records, right? So whatever programming you received as a child, maybe you was abandoned, maybe you had a parent who was depressed and emotionally unavailable, maybe you had a dad who was never around, and that caused a disconnect. And as a kid, you're always going to think that it's something wrong with you, the reason why these things are happening. That's just because that's the only way a child can process information, because ain't nobody set them down and taught them nothing about none of this. They don't know about a subconscious, unconscious mind. They don't know that only 5% of their mind is what they're using for their reality. They don't know that the birthday cake their parent keep giving them on their birthday that's full of sugar is literally calcifying their pineal gland, dysregulating their emotional ability to be in control of themselves and their nervous system. They don't know. They don't know that it increases the chances of having ADHD. Like, where the fuck did all this ADHD shit come from? Where did it come from? We're here now. I can get into where it came from, but we're here now. We've been socially engineered to hate ourselves. We hate the parts of ourselves that we haven't been told was beautiful or accepted. Any part of you that you are afraid for the world to see, 9 times 10 is the part of you that will break you free. So when I feel shit that make me feel afraid, nervous, scared, vulnerable, that's the shit that I do, right? So before I get off, and then I'm gonna see if anybody got any questions too. Saturn originally feminine. I haven't picked up on the information. Saturn has been giving me a very granddaddy feeling ever since I've been connecting and doing the mantras every day. Every day. But I'm telling you, yes, dance to the Sugar Plum Fairy. I'm gonna keep speaking, sis. Absolutely. You have to live your truth. So let me show you something. I might be a little nervous to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If it don't resonate with you, you don't have to do it. But if it resonates with you, that's fine too. So we can do a little Shan mantra now, because I already told you about the humming. But before I get off, I want to give y'all one more extra thing, because I'm telling you, like I'm telling y'all, when January 2023 get here, how you end this year is going to set you up for next year. Y'all got to start laughing and shit. You got to laugh more and do your mantras. Like, then the main 2 things I'm going to say, make sure that you listen to your own voice. A lot of the imbalances that's inside of my mind is because I don't spend enough time listening to my own voice, my own heart, my own consciousness. I'm weighing everything that I do by everybody else's beliefs and their comforts, and I'm not checking in with myself, right? I got so many channel messages and Akashic activation to activate you. When people interact with me, something changes. that their auric field changes. Everybody tell me this. Like, I know, right? But we all have these powers. We just sometimes be activating the negative things in each other. So I'm telling you, y'all, we got to have a little bit more compassion. The smart dust and all of that stuff, it short circuited our heart chakra. So sometimes it's kind of hard to be in your heart. It's really difficult to be vulnerable. And you working with the energy of Saturn, it's going to give you patience, right? You won't be as hard on yourself, right? So I usually do how many minutes? I'm up to an hour now. I can go an hour now. So let me show you a little trick before y'all get started. This might help too. And then I'm also gonna share the link to the one. I'm gonna put the link on Mighty Network as soon as I get off of here, to the one that I've been using for my strength, my power, and also to give me my shit. I want my rewards. We've been doing the work. It's time for it to come in, right? You got to know when it's time for you to get your harvest. And you got to align with that shit. Be like, I'm not even getting no other mindset that ain't even in line with my heart. If it ain't in line with my heart, then it's a mindset that I don't want to agree with anymore. I do not consent. You know, don't let the 3D matrix like bully you and shit. You see how they be dodging the bullets and shit. They represent you being like, oh, okay, yeah, you just tried to trigger me and hurt my feeling. You know what I'm saying? Somebody take your parking spot. Like that's the little shit that they do. You know, and then you argue with somebody in the parking lot and shit escalates because people got ectoplasm, mycoplasm inside of them. And the 7-2 demons that go Asia, we trying to avoid it because we're so fucking afraid of something that's living inside of our pineal gland. You know? So I do an hour, but I would say when you first start off, do 108. All right. I say hollow Vegeta. Is it Vegeta or Vegeta? I be fucking shit up, but hopefully it's Vegeta. That sound right to me. Vegeta. Sometimes we put that little stance on that shit. Be like, nah, it's Vegeta. Whatever it is, I say. So the super simple one is just Om, Shan, Shanti. And you can say Shani or Shanti. Om, Shan, Shanti. All right. So you take a full breath. You feel your belly, right? This is you taking control of your hologram, taking control of your simulation, right? Take a full breath into the belly as much as you can, and then you repeat Om, Shan, Shanti. And I'm gonna do it for a few minutes with y'all. Om Shan Shanti. Om Shan Shanti. Do whatever feel good to you. Shanti. Om Shan 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 Shanti. You connect with your pain. You connect with your power. You connect with your shadows. You connect with your power. Could y'all feel that? We just did like 3 or 4. But this rearranges the quantum field around you that's being projected from whatever is happening in here and here within the subconscious, unconscious. That's why we're in the underworld. Some of y'all still going. I felt that. Whew. Somebody caught that wind and still on that. Okay. I'm gonna post a link so y'all can keep going. Yeah. Om Shan Shanti. Om Shan Shanti. Yeah. Calms the nervous system. It slows things down. Remember, Saturn is the slow moving planet, right? We're constellations, baby. We're made up the exact same makeup as stars. Alright? So this is how we go to war, baby, with the 3D matrix. Um, can't wait to get back on with y'all. I'm gonna go live on Mighty Networks. I'm about to start doing my comedy. So join us on Mighty Networks for that too. Like, like how she go from mantras to comedy. Like this, we doing transmutation. You can't cry all day every day. You gotta take a break. Shadow work is hard. Shadow work is hard. So I'm gonna post this, and I'm gonna be doing the comedy. Remember the Black Friday sale. Go to newverselive.com. Make sure you check it out. We got so many crazy sales right now. We got all of the chakra camps bundled. All of the chakra camps bundled, just $9. The information, the work, the exercises. You gonna really be enjoying just living in a way that's ceremonial. You know, you must live ceremonial. We must bring consciousness and mindfulness to everything that we're doing, because it is through us, the phoenixes of souls that are rising from the ashes, right? That's how you go to war, right? And when you practice embracing and cultivating your feminine energy, the feminine energy will just hold you. My complex PTSD be so bad sometimes. I be so jumpy. I still hear stuff and still think I'm hearing gunshots. Like there's no shame in that, but you can manage that, right? I'm managing my stuff without no medication, right? This is just mantra, meditation, affirmations, like anything that feeds my soul. If it don't feed my soul and it ain't about bliss, I don't even want it, right? If it ain't no peace in it, no joy, I don't even want it. Like you must become choosy. You must become choosy. And speaking of choosy, on Patreon on every tier, I posted some information about being a choosy lover, because we did get some upgrades to our yoni and our lingam as well, and they have capabilities that they did not have before. So if you're out there having sex with people while these mycoplasms is attached to people, and we are like walking quantum computers where all of these portals are opening in the vortexes of what we call our chakras, the 72 demons in Goetia, them just is getting wild and jiggy with it. So you want to be careful. You want to be careful, because you might pick up one and you be like, oh shit. You know, like, I don't know if I want to do that again. So I'm talking about that, and there's some comedy mixed in with that too, because like I said, it's heavy. I know it's heavy, but we do heavy. We can do heavy, right? You can take heavy and turn it into feathers, to be light as a feather, for the heart to be light as a feather. We're just going through the alchemical process of doing that. This is the heart apocalypse. Everything that's happening is assaulting the heart, right? For you to not be in your heart. Most people in their relationships can't even have conversations without getting heated. Mars is retrograde, so take your power back, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. So go check it out. Everything we got going on New Verse Live, y'all. And we love y'all. We appreciate y'all so much. Anybody can do heavy type stuff. It's so simple. Like once you start laughing at shit, you just be like, I be laughing. I be like, oh my god, damn. Like it's cries to be like, oh, I'm like this. I wish I wouldn't went through all those things. But now I be like, I got so much gangster gratitude for what I went through, because it developed in me a skill that I couldn't attain by giving all of my money to a school to indoctrinate me, right? So now we on some other shit. We got new music too that we're about to drop. So we doing it every way that we can share high vibrations, y'all. So we appreciate y'all. Go check the course out, the 3D Matrix Detox course. You get free shit every time you get a course from us, right? And I know it might don't look spiritual. This shit look chaotic as hell. I know it does. I know people look at my channel and they be like, I don't know. It's just because I'm going against the current. I can't. I'm not in alignment with things that I know are not in alignment with the highest frequency. I refuse to, right? So yeah. And thank y'all for the donations. Two of y'all sent a donation, and I promise you the timing was so perfect. and I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my goodness, like, do people know what happens when you do that? That's magic, right? That's magic. Make everything ceremonial. Don't give a dime away without it being ceremonial. When you do things, be like, I got gratitude for this. I got gratitude for this. I might not have no more money after I done paid all of my bills for this month, but my bills paid up for 3 months or 2 months or whatever, or I just finally paid off a debt. Like, I got gangster gratitude for this. I'm so grateful for these experiences. Thank you. Like, y'all, we got to clean up our mindset so that we're not calling these entities here, right? And bring order to our own personal demons so that other people's demons, they don't have nothing to attach to, because we live mindful. We live aware and with direction. If you struggle with making decisions and you don't know which course is a good fit for you, ask your pendulum. Use your divination, do your petitions, your prayers, whatever it is that work for you. But do something before this year is out so you can let every part of you know, like, I'm not playing no more. I'm super serious about my spiritual immunity, and I want to protect the spiritual wealth that I'm creating as I do this work in me. That's what it's about. Because, oh my goodness. Woo! The 3D matrix is down, baby. We can't fake it no more. It is what it is. Everybody is bucket naked. Am I telling the truth? Y'all know I'm telling the truth. So it's just, yeah. So suck it up. Suck it up. If you a hot mess, suck it up. Be like, it's okay. And not suck it up like repress it, but like suck it up. Like breathe it in and be like, I'm here and I can be with myself right here. I can love on me right here. Get you a blanket if you need to. I don't care if you walking around looking like Charlie. With your blanket, do what you gotta do, sucking your thumb. I don't care, whatever soothes you, do that. Don't be a vibrational match for them to continue to assault the spiritual people put here to transmute, transcend. Don't, we can't, no, no, that's not what we doing. All right, y'all, so I'm getting off of here. I think that's it. But yeah, stay on the lookout. Watch your emails, okay? Got a whole lot moving, and it's a whole lot of things they want me to do. So I'm just doing what they lead me to do. Y'all already know what it is. Man, your third eye has just been kissed. One love.